What's up? Didn't you watch him? Oh, sinner. Let's retro review. Alright, so in case you're not familiar, this is Phoebe Cates, and she broke the entire 80s with this one scene from the 1982 classic Fast Times at Ridgemont High, which I recently watched back and was a little surprised to learn didn't really actually play into the story at all. But absolutely nobody cared. Nobody. Because high school comedies back then always just needed their one gratuitous nudity scene and then just move the story along. And this ended up being one of the most iconic moments of the decade, only possibly rivaled by Sean Penn's performance of Spicoli, also in this movie.
Oh, gnarly!
So this moment is a dream sequence concocted up by Judge Reinhold, who you could not go wrong with casting in any movie of this decade. He's watching his sister Stacy's friend Linda in the pool from the bathroom before his fantastical sequence activity gets broken up by Linda herself, who was looking for a Q-tip. Classic shenanigans. And that's the whole scene. Brad comes home from work in his pirate gear, sees the girls in the pool, wanks it in the corner, Linda walks in on him. Moving on. The two of them aren't even in a scene together the rest of the movie. Not even like an awkward family dinner when he's like, Linda, can you pass the parsnips? Thank you. Now, more important in the story than Linda is this guy, Damone, who's that high school senior who you think has it all together as a freshman because he wears outlandish hats and projects that sort of, isn't this great type of energy.
Act like wherever you are, that's the place to be. Isn't this great?
But Damone, I gotta call you out on this look. Either commit to the tie or don't. You can't go skinny tie, barely yanked up. You're either wearing it or you're not. Make a decision.
Mr. Spicoli.
That's the name they gave me.
Alright, on to Spicoli, who really steals this whole movie, fantasy pool sequences notwithstanding. He's the lovable stoner who hates shirts, loves pizza, and doubles his waistband as a bagel holder. Very resourceful. I'd like to see what else he could resource with that non-belted waistband. Maybe a pencil, perhaps a science textbook, or maybe one of those protractor devices that doubled as a back scratcher. It was mostly used as a back scratcher, let's be real. So the fascinating thing I noticed watching Fast Times Back is it's not really story driven, it's very much character driven. We're just kind of following these high school kids around for a year and seeing the hijinks they get into. And in doing so, it's a real timestamp of what things were like in 1982, how people looked, how they talked, and the things that were most important to them. And as a result, we got a sequence of iconic, memorable scenes, and honestly, that was probably the way to go with it back then. We remember these movies more for the scenes and the characters involved than the actual plot itself. Whether it's Spicoli battling Mr. Hand, Damone teaching Mark the ways to pick up a lady, Judge Reinhold driving around in a pirate hat, or Phoebe Cates doing this whole thing. Which brings it back full circle. Where would pop culture be without this scene? Has there ever been a scene that has been spoofed more than this one? Seriously, I'm asking. If you can think of one, I'd like to hear it. But what was your favorite Fast Times scene? Is there one you'd like me to target specifically? Or maybe a scene out of a different 80s flick? I'm open to all ideas. Leave it in the comments and subscribe for more retro reviews. Until then, I'm Castle, and I'll see you there.